Okay, guys, and you know what's funny? I just said, okay, guys. Someone complained about that. You guys, I just said guys again. You're cracking me up, man. Okay, like this is insanity. Okay, guys, girls, if that makes the girls happy or the guys or whoever the heck was offended, it's Tea and Tuesday day. Okay, we are making this happen. This is our second round. I just sit down for a minute. I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off. We got the stove going. We are going to, I'm starving, so I'm going to have a dozen eggs to eat while we make this tea. And what is our tea on Tuesday today? Well, I had to think about this, guys, because I could just come up with any tea for any situation, but I'm trying to be relevant to what's going on right now. And what I'm hearing from a lot of you folks are two big subjects. Is detox. Lots of people want to detox, not sure how to do it. And parasites. Lots of people thinking, I am sick, it must mean parasites. Okay, folks, not everything you have in your life of a sickness means you've got a parasite load. We are parasitic beasts, okay? We carry lots of living things on us. Doesn't mean we have to eradicate them all. So let's first understand the truth about a parasite. Doesn't mean because you caught 3 colds this year, you're parasitically infested. It means that your immune system is shot, okay? And number one, it might even mean you need a detox more than even a parasitic cleanse. More people need a detox than anything, if you ask me. I've been reading a lot, and you know what I think is happening when we get colds and sickness? That is our body detoxing. That is the reaction of our body saying, I'm sick and I need to get it out. And it comes out snots and fluids and all kinds of mucuses. So we're not doing the detox today because that's a simple charcoal tablet or juicing like I've covered. What we're going to cover is the parasitic cleanse. For those of you, lots of people wanting to dope up with ivermectin. Folks, I run a farm, okay? I know ivermectin. A lot of people confused saying ivermectin comes from wormwood. No, it does not, okay? It does not. Wormwood, I believe, comes from a mold in the soil, okay? It does not come from the same thing. Wormwood came from God. Ivermectin came from Pfizer or someone. Okay, so Procter and Gamble, I don't know. So let's keep into perspective. What I am preaching is God's health. I'm not preaching pharmaceutical health. Okay, I'm not saying it doesn't have a place, but that's not what we're doing for our parasitic cleanse today. What we're doing is a parasitic cleanse that back in the 1500s was done. And it was simple. It was wormwood, which, yes, I'm selling. I've got more cuttings. They're online because people can't seem to find the seeds or the plants. So I'm just doing tons of cuttings for you guys to be able to have your own plants. So wormwood. Clove. I don't grow clove, guys, but we all know clove is at all the grocery stores. Clove. We love clove. It's a wonderful seasonal herb. It's amazing. But that's not just it. The big one we need, black walnut hull. Now, I have Carpathian walnuts. They're not the same. Just because you have a walnut tree does not make it a black walnut. The juglone in the black walnut hull is the toxic substance that prevents parasites. Abused, taken out of context, could not feel well. I'm going to show you how to use it right and not be frightened. Wormwood, another one. Taken out of context, you think you're going to take, and the good news about it, it's not delicious, okay? So I always laugh when it says don't take too much. A lot of these books, you can read in a lot of I'll read you some stuff from the herbalist. It's going to talk about wormwood, not for the beginner. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys something different. It is for the beginner, but you have to follow the rules, okay? It's for anybody. But we don't go in with 3 tablespoons and 1 cup of water, okay? You notice I have a little tiny half teaspoon here. So we're going to do a really light parasitic cleanse, and I'm going to eat a dozen eggs, and we're going to go through some bitchin' books, guys, and we're going to learn a little something today. So first things first, got my little tea kettle. It's actually, guys, a percolator. For those of you that said, oh my God, I want her tea kettle. This is actually a percolator. When I take the percolator out, I use it just for herbs, okay? So what we're going to do is show you some herbs here. Just stack them all. Okay. Whoops. I tried to stack a powder. It's a little tricky, folks. Be careful of that. Okay, so this is our wormwood. I grow wormwood. I love wormwood. This is what it looks like, guys, when you pull it off nice and beautiful. I've even had different shades of green. I can get a bluish tint to it also, depending on the weather, which is fascinating. So this is the stems and everything. Dry it. And I use a mixer, like you'd mix soup with, and I'd be all in a tub. And you get it beautiful like this. So rule of thumb, 1 teaspoon per 8 ounces. Now, this is something I've learned, very interesting in my old books. I commonly drink teas warm. This tea is supposed to be drank cold. So you make it hot, you do not drink it hot. And we pay attention to the old rules, guys. So what was that?
Does it say why you're not supposed to drink it hot?
We might be able to find that when I go back through it.
Sweet.
But I've noticed on a few of these, it's adamant about not drinking them warm and drinking them cold. So there's something in our system that works precisely the way it should, and I think the heat shouldn't be there. We're using the heat to extract, but maybe our body doesn't actually want it warm. So
That's cool.
very interesting. And guys, I'm learning too. So I do a teaspoon of the wormwood per cup. We're gonna say there's 2, and this is a half teaspoon, so I'm gonna do 4 of those, guys. And you know I use wormwood all the time. Quite a fan. I use it for, if I do a 30-day wormwood, I'm not doing every day. I'm incorporating wormwood through the 30-day month. I'm not only using that. This guy. Now, I like powders on the walnut hull. So, this is black walnut hull. It turns black. If you can find them green, the green hull is the ultimate best for parasitic cleanse. But they're almost impossible to find. You're not going to find the green hull before it turns black. You're going to find the black. So we use the black. It works basically the same, guys. You know, the juglone's still in there. It's all the same. So now this potent guy, I will commonly do the same. We do a teaspoon per cup. Now for the animals, because I've talked about, this is what I use for all of my animals. I get a 1-gallon jar and I'll buy a pound of each herb and throw all 3 pounds in, mix it up. I do an even ratio of everything. When I feed them, like if I'm feeding one big pig, this parasitic cleanse, and she is, let's use a little pig because you guys aren't dealing with 900-pound pigs. Let's say I've got a little 50-pounder that I'm doing a parasitic cleanse on. It's quite common that I will do 2 tablespoons of that mixture in their feed, and they love it. They love the clove, and they don't care. They totally love it. I will mix that in their feed, and they will just gobble it up. And all I add is water to the, let's say, the pig mash or something, so that you don't find all this on the bottom of the bowl. It actually goes in there. It's quite fascinating, but I've never had an animal reject. They seem to love it, and honestly, you need it for yourself, your animals, for everything. It's a wondrous way. I've never, and people go, oh, have you seen worms? Guys, I've never had a worm pop out of me. I know it's crazy. I kind of want some big old worm to come out sometime because I haven't had one. I guess I do too much of this stuff. And maybe it's not too much. So no worms for me. And yeah, I check my poop like everybody, man. It's crazy. Human nature is when you go to the bathroom, you're going to turn around and look at it. Mm-hmm. So you will know, folks, some of you really, really sick, you very well could be loaded in parasites. You're going to notice with this cleanse, folks, some shedding of the intestinal lining, okay? I'm preparing you for a treat at toilet time you are never, ever going to regret, okay? Bring your camera, get some friends lined up, because everybody's going to want to see what happens. And let me tell you, you're going to come out of that bathroom and go, I don't know what just happened, but I feel great. There's junk in your intestine, guys. We call this the second brain. It doesn't work real well to think when it's garbly gooped up. So we got to clean it out. I suggest what I'm teaching you how to do on this. You do not do this for 30 days. You can do this tea for, if you're a beginner, do it every other day for 1 week. That's it. then hold off. You can do it again 30 days later. This is clove, my favorite scent. Everybody knows clove. It's wonderful at the holidays. It's in our cookies. It's in your sweets and treats. It's a wonderful thing. Same thing. I'm gonna do 1 teaspoon. Boom. So these are I'm using a half teaspoon, guys. So it takes 2, and I'm doing 2 teaspoons because we've got quite a bit of water in here. Now, that is gonna blow your mind. It's gonna be so powerful. What are we gonna do to be able to handle drinking this? Because that's pretty disgusting like that. Well, we're gonna add some fruit. So let's see what I've got over here in this messy kitchen.
I'm trying not to film any
Garbage, yeah. Please don't. Oh, there we go. Okay, guys. Hopefully you didn't have to stare at my kitchen too much in there because I'm a working lady and we got things going on. Oh, I need a knife too. I guess I took my knife and ran off with it. Let me grab a knife right here. So, how do we sweeten this nasty concoction? Well, look at that. We're finally boiling. I like that. So that's very hot. I want to get it to a simmer. And then I want to leave it to simmer for a little bit. We're going to scoot it on a little bit less hot area. And what I'm going to add, this is the ugliest orange on earth, guys. If I gave this to free for you guys, you'd be like, we don't want it. Well, what I'm going to use it for is flavor. We're going to use it so that we can get a little bit of the sugar from this yucky piece of fruit to sweeten our tea, our parasitic cleanse. And guys, we're not just parasitic cleanse in here. So these herbs are capable of much more than what you are even seeing happen. You're only recognizing the parasitic effect, but even though wormwood may be known to harm, I hear a lot of people going, be careful, it's bad for your stomach. Well, as you say, it's bad for your stomach, and yes, in a massive abundance it is. It actually heals the gut and stomach. So we have to remember, moderation is the key, folks. I'm not drinking 1 gallon pitchers of this daily. I'm using it in moderation for the sake of a particular issue. And then we move on to another tea. So what are these? These are blueberries, guys. So we're going to put some blueberries in our tea. I told you, use fruit. If you don't have fruit, well, you can use sugar, you can use honey. But let's try to not use some of that because there's a lot of sweeteners that are hurting us. I'm going to go for 2 handfuls so that we get a little sweet in our little parasitic blowout here, guys. Boom. It's really, really important, guys, that you experiment. I know a lot of people are trying, but they're scared and they're wanting me to help and lead them on their way. I've led you on your way. And now you start making the teas, you start doing it yourself. You don't have to ask me if those 2 herbs go together. Already in your mind, I think you know they do. So use them, try it. See what it makes you feel like. And I'm a big proponent, guys, if you're gonna make a tea, do this for yourself. Have that tea for a couple days in a row. That same exact tea. When you make your tea, like I do, make sure you can drink it twice that day. Make enough that you don't have to make the tea twice, perhaps, if you don't want to, but you've got enough to pour a cold cup of it because I usually drink it in the morning and night. Then I make sure that same tea, I'm going to drink it maybe a couple more times this week. Then I move on to another. And the reason why I want you to stick with that tea is you don't know what it's doing until you listen to your body after you drink that tea, you know. Did you feel a headache? Did you feel like you were detoxing? Did it make you feel energetic? Did your heart race? How were you feeling? What was it doing to you? Did you feel, high on cloud 9? What were you feeling? So it's super important, guys, that we pay attention to our body when we're using the herbs. I was going to use beef tallow, by the way, guys, but I'm selling it all, so I'm using my pork leaf lard. You really want to listen to your body. It is one of those things that I don't think people are in tune with themselves enough. So you're not hearing when your body's saying, hey, I need you to listen. Something's off. when you listen to your body, you immediately can even already know what tea do you want. Oh, well, you know, I was already feeling like a little bit tired and my knees were hurting and my back, and you're gonna know, okay? By the way, guys, I love fat, lots of it. Lots of fat in my eggs. So I'm a big carnivore. Don't get me wrong, you see the juicing videos. You guys know I love it all. But guess what gets rid of inflammation, folks? Guess what takes your sicknesses away because of the lack of inflammation? Meat. It's fantastic. And I don't mean bacon. Okay, we all know bacon's on the carnivore diet. Bacon, we all know, is bad for you. It's not what a steak is or a pork chop and all those fancy things. But you might want to think about trying that. A lot of people saying inflammation, don't know what to do. It's killing me. I cannot speak to every person independently as much as I would like to. So some of you guys get lucky and I do comment on you. Others, I'm kind of scrolling past. So please read everybody else's comments, guys. You guys should be talking to one another. What is going on here, you know? I shouldn't be having to do it all. I'm teaching you guys how to do it too. We're going to cook these eggs up, guys, because I'm starving. And first rule of thumb is do not do your parasitic cleanse with nothing in your stomach but a cup of coffee. You could quite possibly feel nauseous, which is very common. If you feel nauseous from a tea, it doesn't mean it is wrong, guys. That's why I say you need to listen to those symptoms. Because you got a headache from that tea, it did not mean do not drink that tea. What it meant was you are very sick. Your body is giving you a reaction to what you did because something has happened inside of you. Usually headaches, folks, if you're getting any of that after juicing or teas, that is a detox symptoms, 100%. I highly recommend if you start feeling that to take some salt. That's the number one thing I have found when we start feeling that way. For some reason, I find Celtic salt I like. I just take a pinch of it in my mouth. The salt is quite fascinating how well it makes us feel when we are feeling kind of yucky from a detox headache and stuff. I think salt is just more important than we all know. I think it is, again, one of those things completely shoved under the rug that it's horrible for us when, yes, the salts in fast food are horrible for you, but real good salt, no. This is a real crusty turd one, guys. You want to take a look at that one? You guys want to see me crack it with turds on it? Let's see, everybody. Get mad at me. Turd in the egg. Oh, so baby. Woo, that was a fatty, too. I thought it was going to be a double yolker. So, no, guys, I don't eat turds in my eggs, but you know what? I don't worry about this stuff. I'm not a disgusting person. I'm a farmer. We all know those turds aren't in my eggs. They're stuck to the shell. And I ain't going to wash that shell. You know why? Because it's got bloom on it. And bloom protects my eggs and makes them delicious like they are. My organic birds are doing a bitchin' job. I sell every clean egg, and I only eat dirty ones. And I love it. So to all you that go, ew, yuck, well, you're not there yet, guys. I'm sorry. You'll get there. And when you get there, guess what starts to happen when you're not worried about germs? You, some reason, don't get sick. It's really odd, guys. I'm selling cough syrup out the yin-yang. And, guys, I don't even need to take my own cough syrup. You know why? Because of the teas, because of the poopy eggs, because of the lifestyle. This morning, they're paving the road, and I walk out my jammies barefoot so I can ground for 30 minutes. Are any of you grounding? Is anybody grounding over there? For God's sake, I hope so. You better be out there barefoot in that dirt. Because you know what? We are animals. Just like animals. We need to have our hands and feet in the dirt. We need to be feeling the energy from the earth. We need to be more connected, and we're not. So that's why I'm here. And yeah, I'm cooking the whole dozen, guys, because I love eggs. Love them. I like a big, juicy, runny yolk. I want it to drip down my face or my shirt. I definitely wish I could get my hands on more of those emu eggs. All you that hated the emu. Boy, you guys, that was an awesome one. I couldn't have, I can't even hear the difference between emu and emu, but boy, everybody in Australia sure caught that one, man. I got flanked like I was a criminal. I wish I had more of them. I could just drink that yolk right now. Okay, so moving right along, guys. We've got our tea blazing. We've got eggs cooking. Let me grab a little salt and pepper ready. You can just wait right there. Grab a quick.
Smells so good.
Yeah, we're starving and need food, so it's time to do a wee bit of cooking. Where's my bag of salt? There it is. So, what am I using for salt? As I was mentioning salt, I have lots of salts that I like. I use pink Himalayan too. I'm on a salted kick right now, and I really like this gray salt. It's kind of wet looking and chunky. I just want to eat the chunks. It's delicious.
Good.
And, you know, salt's good for us, guys. I also, my favorite lately has been, I have a, oh gosh, Sicily. It's salt from Sicily, and I get 50 pounds of that. And that stuff's amazing because it's big, thick chunks, and it still has chunks like dirt and stuff kind of in it. I really like that one. Let's salt these guys up because we need salt in our lives. This is what holds that water in and helps us function.
I'll show the bags. I'm sure someone's
There's the
gonna ask.
bag.
What is that?
Yep.
What brand is that?
I love that stuff, folks. And then what we're going to do now is get into those books.
Light gray salted. Nice.
We're going to get into those books and set our eggs aside.
You don't use bleached white salt?
Folks, okay, iodized salt. Let's get into it. You need iodine in your diet. Yes, you do. And I will give you sources. Idarol or Lugol's. There is two. You can have a pill or you can have a liquid. And you need iodine, and you should be taking it, especially those with thyroid problems. You're making a grave mistake not to be taking it. Iodized salt, folks, don't make me laugh. Okay, there is no iodine to save your life in that salt. That was a ploy, okay? All that was, there's anti-caking agents. There is maltodextrin. There is no iodized salt. By now, everybody should know there's Himalayans, there's sea salts, get something else, okay? You don't have to get the most expensive. Get a better source of salt. Salt's important in your life. And when you're not feeling well, you should be able to take a pinch of salt. You should be drinking salt water. I'm a fan of that for sure. More in the summer months. In the winter months, it's not so bad that I need it. We're looking good on this. Take a peek here and see how our tea is looking. Oh yeah. Blueberries are starting to plump.
There we go. That looks good.
I smell it. It smells wondrous.
Gosh, that smells so good.
Okay, guys. I say let's do this now. So, while this is simmering and our eggs, let's scoot it all over and talk about some herbs. We're going to put these on the slow burner. Move this over. And let's get to town, guys, on learning. Okay. Well, we know what we've used.
I'm going to kind of...
And what's interesting, guys, about this combination, so you know all my books, and what's fascinating is...
There we go.
Now, this recipe, I can give you what I'm doing of this parasitic cleanse in the book, for sure. This is a recipe from the past. I didn't get it out of the book. It's just fascinating because this is mainly a book of recipes. It's not, you can't look up necessarily an herb. You're going to look up a boil. And then you're going to go to a million recipes that people wrote to the company and they printed them. So this one, we're not going to sit here and dig around in. This one, I'll read recipes to you. But what we're going to really do is look for those 3 herbs and what are they doing for us. Now, I told you it's a parasitic cleanse. Do you think that that's what it's going to say on all these books? No. What's ironic is wormwood is the #1 healer of malaria. Okay. Now, it's been used for years. That was the first thing they found that back in the day. They were like, my God, it's healing malaria, which kills so many. And, well, you look at it, That's parasitically connected right there. I mean, malaria. So you go, wow, it's considered more of a antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal, but you don't see a lot of the parasitic work it does. So I started going, okay, the herbalist should have all three in. These are very old herbs. Clove is not so sought after, so I wasn't surprised it wasn't. I was really surprised no black walnut in the herbalist. But what do you know they do have? Wormwood. Okay, my favorite herb, as you know. Okay, so let's go to wormwood. Let me find the page here. And let's see what it says in the olden days, because it's probably going to use it for something else. 289. 289. Okay, here we are. Wormwood. And that's what it looks like for sure. That's it blooming with the little balls on top.
Sorry, I'm trying to.
Can you get it?
Yeah. Yep. It like doesn't focus. Okay, now it's focused.
No, it's kind of hard. It's kind of dark in here too. Okay, so let's see what it says. It says, now remember, this is going to go into describing the plant, of course. So it says a perennial, woody root, yep, branched at the crown, having numerous fibers low. It does. It's amazing. As it sits on the ground, it wants to just grow back into the ground. This whole herb is covered with close silk hoariness, which is interesting. I thought it said hairiness, but it's hoariness. The stems are numerous, bushy, and from 1 to 2 feet in height. Now, I've had some up to 4 feet, guys. Their lower part exists for some years. Yes, it does. The lower part, as bad as it looks, just seems to stay there until it composts. I think it says right here, lower ones, long. No, I thought it was going to say talk about the colors. Not so much. Now, what's cool is it says it grows. Now, this does not apply anymore. This is the fascinating part. Wormwood grows nearly all over the world, from the United States to Siberia. It flowers from June to September. The tops and leaves are the part used. Yes, that's what we use. The dried herb with the flowers has a whitish gray appearance, a strong aromatic odor. You guys have seen that. And is extremely bitter, which is funny. How do you abuse that, right? The stem about 3 feet high, yellowish with numerous, let's make sure I stayed on the same page because these are paper thin. Oh, look at that. I didn't. Paper thin, so my little fingers, okay. It has a bitter taste. Alcohol or water take up its active principles. Okay? We're using water, aren't we? It yields what is known to druggists as an absinthe, as we know as the drink. The drink was removed because they found when they turned the wormwood into, like if you're trying to get essential oils and you ran it through a still, that herb being ran through a still became hallucinogenic to people. So I would imagine they probably liked it. I don't think many people were complaining, to be honest. If you ask me, it was probably removed because people liked it. Who knows? Nobody died of this. They were drunk and like hallucinogenic, as if doing drugs. And the only way to achieve that is not the tea I'm showing you. You have to run it through a still, okay? You're going to have to make a hydrosol or an essential oil or something, or an alcohol of it. That's the only way. And they found that it made that herb so almost toxic. Well, we're not doing that, are we? So you have nothing to fear. Okay. Properties and uses. This is going to be the interesting one. And I may not agree with all this. We'll see. It is anthelimin. Oh, this is an interesting word. Anthelimintic. Tonic and narcotic. Okay. I certainly cannot pronounce that word. Plus it's cut in half. They're calling tonic and narcotic, yes. So narcotic put again into the preparation it was made in the past, which no longer is around. It is not narcotic to just drink in a tea. It is used for many conditions, among which may be enumerated: want of appetite, diarrhea. Okay, we're talking stomach and intestines. Diarrhea. Now, interesting that it's a major help of your guts and your tummy, guys, and then yet you're going to read that it's bad for your stomach. So you need to be very careful what you're reading, because a lot of it's not true. It is also used externally, which I've not used it so much externally, in country places as a formation for sprains. Okay, that's pretty cool, guys. Bruises and local irritations. Sounds like a plant you're going to want in your yard.
Mm-hmm.
Take too often or in large quantities. It will irritate the stomach and dangerously increase the action of the heart and arteries. When you guys take it for the first time, you can text me and let me know how often you're going to want to take it, because chances are you're going to try it once and never want to take it again. So when I listen to this, it's okay to understand they're warning you. You're not going to take too much, so don't be fearful, folks. They have to say these things because some of these herbs are potent, and if someone just likes bitters a lot and wants to drink gallons, they could hurt themselves. You're not going to do that. We're talking small amounts. Okay, so it says, for this reason, it's not to be recommended for the unskilled or general home use. I disagree with Joseph Meyer. Now, I'm teaching you guys because we can't have an herbalist catering to you all day long, every day. Mm-hmm. You need to become an herbalist. So we got to step our game up, and we've got to listen to what they're saying about things and use them properly. And that's what we're doing. I'm not giving medical advice. I'm not teaching you guys how to cure anything. We're drinking tea is all we're doing, and we're trying to feel good and positive on a day-to-day basis, but we want to do it correctly. So, dose. Well, a dose, a teaspoonful of the tops, that's what I told you, and leaves, cut small or granulated to a cup of boiling water. Drink it cold. A cupful during the day, a large mouthful at a time of the tincture, 5 to 30 minutes. Now, if you're making it very, very potent, you're not going to have to drink much, guys. It's just a small amount. So that's what the herbalist says about wormwood. Let's check our tea and start cooling her down, because this is ready to cool down into our cups. And what we might do is throw a little ice cube in it. Mm-hmm. Move this stuff out of the way here. And we'll get going. All right, so I think I'll put it off to the side. Oh, let me get my strainer and a little cup for Rhea. So teas should be fun. You should learn a lot from them. You should be drawn to the interest that it's going to give you of how you're going to react to it. And you should start collecting herbs that fascinate you. Herbs maybe that you go, oh gosh, I never heard of that. I don't know what that is. What is that? I'm interested in that. Get yourself a small amount of it. I can assure you I'm not going to turn you on to anything that is going to harm you. But what's ironic is how you can rush out. The world's going to go rush out and take ivermectin, fenbendazole, and they're worried about wormwood. Wormwood might kill me. Well, you're not worried about everybody seems pretty okay that you can't, for some reason, intoxicate yourself on ivermectin. I beg to disagree. I think you should be very, very careful with all of that stuff. So, guys, heed my warning. My son just turned around. He went, oh no, Mom's doing a video. Rhea just gets a taste of it.
Just a little bit.
Now, remember, black walnut hull. This is black, like coffee, guys. Smells like clove. That's all I smell.
Oh, yeah, that was dark.
Oh, yeah. So those are all very dark solutions. You got to figure clove. If you did clove alone, very, very dark. And that's it, guys. Now, we're just going to let this cool down because we don't want to drink this hot. Mm-hmm. But what I am going to do is bear with me because I'm going to get some eggs while we get into some more books here.
Yes. Looks so good.
Let's get in some eggs. You guys can watch me eat. Sorry, but I'm a hungry lady. And, man, I wake up early and get going, and it's work. There's no stopping. I don't get to sit down. I don't flip any TVs on. Actually, my sitting down, when I get to sit down, it cracks me up. I'll be like, I just sat down. I can promise you, if my butt parks anywhere, someone's going to rush in and say, I got to do something. Because it just doesn't happen. Okay. Let's get us a few eggs. Now, guys, I'm all for runny eggs. I don't care what you like, but I'm a runny egg kind of gal. So I'm going to eat and talk to you guys. Let those guys keep going. I like a big runny yolk. Let me chop it up so I can... So my girls put out some orange yolks, guys. These free-range organic birds. Yeah, and I cater to these lovely ladies. Okay, we're going to leave that there. Oh, let me get a little hot sauce, and then we'll keep going. Sorry, guys, it's not supposed to be about me eating, but only time I've got now is on camera, I think. So bear with me, and we'll get back to it. Hopefully we've got enough light in here.
It was just kind of a little bright earlier, but we can open up some.
A little more?
Yeah.
For my blind eyes, is that okay? Or
Oh,
is
yeah,
that too
that's
bright?
good. No, it's perfect.
Okay,
I was just...
let me have a bite, guys, and let's get into black walnut and clove. And, oh, man. Freaking love eggs. Hold on, one more bite. I can actually eat a whole dozen eggs, guys. Okay. I'm not selling these, by the way. Excuse me, I just put a lot of hot sauce on that one. I bought this on my own. And then, excuse me, and then Ancient Remedies Revived contacted me. Said, would I do a video? This was last year, guys, that I got this book. I'm sure some of you remember, you probably bought it. They sent this one this year. Sorry, guys. For all you that wanted to buy this book by itself, I had no idea that it seems to be coming in a kit with the recipe cards in this book. I wish I could get it separated for you. Unfortunately, I can't. For all of you that don't have this book or the recipe cards, it's a wonderful combo they do offer, but unfortunately, I'm very sorry you're not going to just get the recipe book. Maybe in the future they'll separate it, but that's not me. So, holy moly, that was a good hot streak. Okay. I love hot sauce, guys. I want to burn my brains out with the stuff. I make so much of it, and I just buy it too. So, we found wormwood. Let's see now in another book, wormwood / black walnuts / clove. Okay. First things first, we did wormwood. We'll do that one after, but let's see if black walnut's in here. Because it's important that you guys see, as I go through these books, you are not going to find a book that covers it all. So each one of these herbal books, the people putting them together, they're what they feel is the most important. It doesn't mean it is. That's why you need a multitude of books to be into herbology. A multitude. I have to go through tons of books when I'm really researching an herb because some may stick to one value that then when you get into older stuff or newer stuff, you go, I didn't know it did that too. Okay, so look at this. Nope, no black walnut. Okay. Ancient Remedies Revived. You need an update. We need black walnut hull in here. This should be in here. Black walnut hull is a huge, huge aspect of the herbal community. We need it added in the book on your next revision, please. Let's see if clove is in here. Okay, so right there, no black walnut. Herbalist, no black walnut, guys. Black walnut's been around forever. Now, why would it not be in here? It's a possibility black walnut is not in the area. This is for where this book was created. Even though they try to cover all herbs, they can't. Let's see if we can find clove real quick. They've got to have clove. Oh, good. We got clove. 58. Okay, so let's look up our clove in our tea and what it does. And everybody knows clove is a wonderful, wonderful herb. It's good in foods. It's good in everything. Special seasoning, or the seasonal, oh, there it is. Where is it? Okay, now clove, folks, is easily grown out here, actually, by the way. This is what they look like. They're the flower pods. Okay, that's it. You pick them off. You don't let them turn into flowers.
Sorry.
It's pretty remarkable.
Oh, yeah.
So there's clove. Everybody's seen this in the grocery store when they bought it, or they're buying it in the powder. But let's see what it says about clove in here. All right. We can go into the ancient uses. Okay. Asian literature from China's Han period mentions cloves under the name chicken tongue spice. Often used for freshening breath during formal meetings. Back then, it was common for envoys from Java to bring cloves with them as a gift to the emperor. These cloves were often held in the mouth, interesting, to freshen the breath during formal meetings with the emperor. So,
Wow.
all you running a heavy protocol or gingivitis right now, or periodontitis, might need to get yourself a pound of those cloves and get them in your mouth, because I'm sure you're stinking a little from, the stuff going on in your teeth. And a little tip towards that, too, is wink, wink. All you got to actually do is get yourself a tablespoon of salt, put it in a cup of water, swish, swish, swish. You won't have cavities, guys. You won't have bad breath. You just don't have enough salt in your life. Okay, let's move on. I got a runny nose from that big old hot sucker I just took in. Okay. In ancient India, cloves had a place in Ayurvedic medicine, treating common ailments such as asthma, colds, indigestion, impotence, guys,
Wow.
laryngitis, low blood pressure, toothaches. We just talked about teeth. We've all seen clove oil for the gums. And vomiting. Didn't know about vomiting. That's an interesting one. Chinese medicine employed cloves for warmth and digestion. Yes, I'm very familiar with that one. Improvement as well as remedies for cholera, impotence. There we are, guys. All you men out there, we've now, what did we have up here? Impotence again. Get the cloves out, guys. And vomiting. Cloves were eventually made into poultices for treating scorpion stings. Now, God, have we heard anything about parasites, guys? No. Okay, this physician, Alexander of Trailes, suggested using cloves to alleviate gout and seasickness, to stimulate appetite in the 6th century, guys. What are you guys doing to stimulate your appetite or for gout or seasickness? Well, I can assure you, I know for gout, because my mom got it from all the blood pressure medication she's on. It's not diet related, it is her medications. Well, you get a medication for gout. She's got another medication for gout now. When looks like clove could be quite fascinating to use, huh? Making sure I don't overdo my eggs.
I know.
Guys.
I heard him cooking. I was like, oh no.
No, they're good.
Okay.
I get a nice crusty bottom and a runny top. I love it. I'm weird like that, guys.
Sounds good.
Okay, so here we are again, not seeing anything about what a big purpose of its life was for worming. Cloves were traditionally used for pain relief, guys. So it looks like in our tea we're doing a lot more than worming, aren't we? Especially in toothaches. And clove oil, like I was talking about, the numbing agent. Folks, you got toddlers in the house. They're teething. Guys, olive oil and cloves. Put it in the crock pot. We're not talking rocket scientists here. We're not like, this is not major recipe stuff. But I can assure you, you're probably paying $10 for a little vial of some oil to dab on your poor little baby's sore gums, when you could probably get a gallon of it for that price. So that's why I'm trying to show you guys. Let's get in the kitchen. This is stuff you don't have to have a special store to buy to make. But I saw nothing about using it in my preparation. Now, okay, here we go. Modern research for the clove says, this is 2011, it suggested the clove oil could be used as a natural antibacterial agent to combat bacteria that contribute to their dental problems like cavities and gums. You know what I'm thinking, guys, you need to get doing? You know what I would do with the cloves? I would probably make a super strong tea, a decoction. And then, you know what else I would do? I would use that as a mouth swish. It would just be clove water, as strong as could be. You could bring that in the bathroom. You know, it would probably only last about 5 days, because teas are not, they're not preserved, so they go bad. I bet that would immediately fix your mouth. Clove could potentially offer a way to manage Alzheimer's disease with minimal side effects and maximum cost effectiveness. Oh, you with Alzheimer's? Are you listening? Now, I'm not making a medical claim. I'm reading it from Ancient Remedies Revived here. I'm just reading a book. But it sounds like we could feel some potential from this stuff. So this is clove. Cheap clove, guys, again. Cheap clove. I mean, I got so much clove for free one time from the food bank when I wasn't doing well. It's cheap, guys. And it's good for us. Okay, what else? Let's see here. So we've got that. It says, couple last things, folks. It says supplementation also has antioxidant and organ protective effects in diabetic patients. Wow. It says it reduces the tissue injuries, helps control the blood sugar, and prevents oxidative damage and cataract formation. By the way, my mom is getting cataracts. She doesn't do any herbal things. Mom, get the cloves out and put some in your coffee or something. Pretty remarkable, huh? Here's another thing that is probably good to know, but I don't think you're going to abuse it. Side effects in high amounts could affect the liver, kidneys, cause seizures and coma. Trust me, someone forced them to put that in there. Might cause allergies, irritation. I don't think you guys are going to use that much, okay? These teas I'm showing you, we're not pouring pounds in, or very, very, very small amounts, folks, okay? So let's not be frightened of trying some things. If you feel when you try one of these herbs that something doesn't feel right, some sort of reaction, listen to your body, like I'm saying, and maybe you could be allergic to one of these. It's very, very rare, but there's always a possibility. Okay. Oh, you know what's funny about the dosage in the book, guys? I just noticed. Well, guess who tells us how much to take? The WHO. The World Health. Well, here we go. So let's not believe any of this right here. I'm not going to talk about it, but let's just not believe that, because when I see this right here, they don't know anything about that. So let's go back to, I wondered why we had to have how bad it is at the bottom. So these books have to protect themselves, guys. You know, they don't want the medical community coming and killing them either. So there's stuff in a lot of these books. You're not going to see it in these books. You won't see it in this. That organization wasn't around. Clove. So did we see anything about, no, we saw nothing about using it parasitics. But yet, if I could go through more books with you today, I can show you in this book how that is the number one thing everybody needed to do, not just for parasitic cleanse. They were using those same three for many other things. Okay, so this has wormwood in it too. We could do a quick blip of it, and we've got to find that black walnut, guys, because it's in nothing, remember? I bet it's in my oldest book, though. Okay. I want to see what wormwood says in this. Let's see if it's as similar as it was in Meyer's book, because it is fascinating, the difference from book to book. And if you guys don't have some of these books, you know, whether it's the curse jar in the house or whatever, you know, I would start putting some pennies away. $1 here, $1 there. It doesn't take much to have $30 in a jar. And if you want it bad enough, just one of these books is going to change your life. Just one of them. Okay. Now, let's find plain old wormwood. See if it's in here. There it is. Oh, and they have African wormwood here too. Okay, that's cool. I've not seen that. I've only read about it. 176, and we'll look at 182 for that. 176. Okay, this is my wormwood. This is what I'm selling. This is my favorite one. This is what we just used right here, guys. Okay, so it says in traditional medicine systems, wormwood. We have a fly, by the way, because it was 80 yesterday. So we went from freezing back to 80. Nothing knows what's going on out here anymore. In traditional medicine systems, wormwood was used for its antiseptic, antispasmodic, and carminative properties. It was used to treat digestive disorders, including stomach pain. Folks, do you find it as fascinating as I do that the organization we just saw in the other book is stating that it can harm your stomach? But yet, what do we keep finding repeatedly? That it heals or helps the stomach. So it can be very confusing, I can imagine, for you newbies out there. Now, stomach pain, indigestion. That's how I started my first video, was indigestion and lack of appetite. It was also believed to expel worms. We finally have it say, hence the name, wormwood. Historical use in absinthe, we've talked about. It gained its notoriety for the production of the drink. It was known for its, of course, green color, and of course that you could totally trip out. It says that it exhibits neuroprotective properties. Wow, and could serve as an additional treatment for stroke patients. Guys, I could talk about wormwood all day. I mean, it's my favorite. You know it. This is like the third time I'm talking about it on camera, maybe the fourth or fifth. I don't even know. And what I'm finding more and more and more is how it's really, you got to be careful, because the news studies coming out are trying to really make this thing seem really bad, guys, and dangerous. And right here, this is big. I mean, when it exhibits neuroprotective properties, if any of you can even comprehend how deep that is, what is that is truly doing in your system, there is not a lot of herbs that do that, okay? Serving for stroke patients, not a lot of herbs, guys. When half your body has gone into a stroke and you've lost it all and you can't move anymore, there's not a lot to help those people. If you've seen, they leave them and go, well, get on these meds and hope you don't have another that kills you. Well, folks, it looks like you better get some wormwood into the household. Here's another good one. I have pushed this again. This is a fascinating. Wormwood extract has significant anti-ulcer and antioxidant properties. Is it hurting our stomach or helping us, guys? Anti-ulcer, just to let you guys know, I used to get tons of indigestion. I was riddled with it. When I met Rhea and we really started hanging out, I was like a dragon. I could just blow flames out of my throat. Couldn't figure out ever what it was. Do you know, since I started drinking wormwood tea a year ago, it's like I never got indigestion again. It just kind of disappeared. So I find that to be quite fascinating, that I don't even know in depth truly what's happening, but that's why I say listen to your body, because you're going to know what's happening. So synergies, what are its best friends? Lavender and rosemary, they go fantastic with it, guys, if you're just looking to do an essential oil blend. But there's our wormwood. We know Ancient Remedies does not have black walnut hull, because I've told them to put it in their book. So let me have another bite of some delicious egg, and let's find that black walnut hull. All right. We're going to go for this guy. This is the girl, Nicole Apelian. She was on a live. If any of you guys ever watch a live, I didn't even know about the book. I watched her on a live. That is the show where you go with only like 3 items into like Alaska on the water and you get nothing. And the person that stays there the longest and survives wins. Oh, there it is. I'm like, I don't remember if it was 40 some days. Let's read it. It says that the TV show alone, despite having MS. So this woman healed herself of MS with herbs. She no longer suffers from a crippling disease that we've had family members die of. Despite having MS, she survived solo in the remote wilderness for 57 days straight with little more than her hunting knife and the wild foods and medicines she found.
Wow.
I'm not making any money on this book, guys. Okay, this is not something I'm selling, but I have to say, I did watch the show and then I bought the book and I love it. Guess what's in the book? Black walnut hull. Okay, so let's find it, because I think that's pretty amazing. And again, am I telling you just pick one book? I'm telling you get an arsenal of books is what I've been telling you. I'm not saying go spend $1,000. A lot of these are only $30. But let's get some books so we can do our own research. There it is. Right under black elderberry, the black walnut. Okay, let's check it out. 226, 227.
I'm gonna see if I can sit all
You're doing great, Rhea.
Oh,
Poor Rhea has to stand here in a squat the whole time, guys. Well, I get to sit and relax. Okay, so remember I'm talking about the green hull.
oh yeah.
So there is what it looks like with the fruit on. This is what it looks like when it's not ripe. That is what you want really for parasites. And what is the first thing it says here? Parasites, folks. Now, we can't seem to find it anywhere, but Nicole Apelian, or whatever her name is, sure knew what the heck was going on because it's in her book and it's not in many others. And they'll probably, who knows, this book might go away soon just because it's in here. So what I can get my hands on when I purchase is the hull. It's black like this, guys. Now, is it green? No. We do, green is ultimate for parasites, but if you can't find it, who gives a hoot? Get it black, okay? You're going to need someone with a tree for this. So let's see what the black walnut does. Juglones, that is the toxic compound in it. I don't call it a toxin. It actually can be a lot of the reason why it's beneficial for us. So we know about the tree itself, but let's go back to, let's find its uses. Let's see here. It talks about, the black walnut hull, you can use it as a dye also, of course. Medicinal use. Okay, black walnut hull, this floppy book I'll try to hold here. Get a pen. There we go. Black walnut hull is an anti-inflammatory, antifungal, antiviral, astringent. God, you can't get more antis, okay? That's why we're using this. When it does that, so not only are we killing parasites, you know what else we're doing? We're getting rid of the other buggers in there that are not healthy either, that you don't realize are in there, and we're flushing those babies out so you got a nice, good, clean flora that can inhibit your colon like it should. Emetic laxative, guys, painkiller. Okay, now this is interesting because didn't we read that clove also covered pain? So now what we're talking is you're parasitically cleaning, you're pain relieving, you're getting rid of ulcers, you're healing the Guys, we're doing like 40 things all trying to just kill some worms. It's awesome. Oh, I said guys again. Anyway, okay, so now it says again, the green hulls are more potent than the mature black and are what I use for the medicine. If you have a tree, you can use the green. I don't have a tree, and the green are hard to find. I do know a woman with them, but I never have time to go over me collecting and all that. And so the black works well too, even though it's not as potent. Now, to treat and prevent parasites, black walnut hull used along with, now they're using garlic and clove. I love garlic too. I have definitely done a lot of garlic, but garlic has another place too, because in a tea, I really don't like garlic tea. I have done it and I about threw up. I also juiced garlic one time and almost threw up for a week straight. I'm sure I was healthy as could be, but it almost killed me. So I'm not a fan. I do love garlic, just raw, eat it, or in honey. Cloves. Oregon grape, that's something I just had planted. Hopefully the crown survives this horrible weather. Right. Probably won't, but hopefully it does. And wormwood. That's what we just covered. Is an excellent remedy for parasite and worm infestations. I've used this herbal blend for many types of parasitic infections. This remedy will kill the eggs, the larvae, and adult worms and other parasites. Oh. So, ivermectin and fenbendazole fans. When we worm with those, did you notice when you worm it says to repeat at 10 to 12 days? That's because you didn't kill off the nits of the life. You didn't kill off the egg sacs. You didn't kill the pupas. It kills the living stage. Okay, that's what it's designed for. So now we got to retoxicate. Now, I know all you guys think that stuff is just healthy as can be. And you know what? You're right. It's not as bad as a lot of things. But it is a pharmaceutical product. It is replacing what God intended you to use. He didn't put down for you to hit a Costco with fenbendazole and ivermectin. He said, I've given it all to you. And it wasn't in a box form at a store. It was out in the fields and the forests. So we have to really put this into perspective, guys, because you want an easy way out, and this is even easier than what you're using. So let's try to stick to maybe the right way to go, because, you know, Do you know they have no studies on humans consuming tons of fenbendazole, ivermectin, and my favorite is now, because I get it, guys. People have cancer. They don't want to die. They're taking methane blue now. Do you know what this stuff is? These are toxins. These are complete toxins, not meant to be ingested, but they killed cancer. Yes, it did. And chemo did at the beginning too. We have to get our thought process straight, folks. I'm not going to tell you not to use it. I'm just going to say it is not a gift from God. And I think there's alternatives that you could probably find to make yourself feel fantastic and maybe kill a bunch of those buggers going around creating some of these things. So let's put it into perspective again. Next time you grab for that ivermectin, maybe you think, gosh, maybe I'll look at a herb store online, because that ivermectin is doing one thing. Well, this is doing how many things? We can't even list them all. Too many things. And again, all you taking it, I know you're going to be upset because people really, really, really want to believe in it, and it's helping so many. I get it, but it's not natural. Okay, skincare. What? This does skincare too? Yes, it does. For preventing and treating blemishes, acne, psoriasis, eczema, warts, poison ivy, and other skin conditions. Guys, come on. Half of my crowd's got this stuff. All you're going to do is take that black walnut hull and you are going to make a paste with water, guys. For sensitive skin, mix it in a little of the powdered husk with a carrier oil. But really what it's saying is if you're dealing with this disgusting stuff, make a pasty paste out of it with some water. And maybe put a dollop on that big old zit on your forehead, you know? Maybe that wart that you can't stand at the tip of your finger every time you point and people get grossed out, maybe put that on it. Try it. See if it takes it away, guys. Now remember, God's remedies do not take things and heal them like in 3 seconds, folks, okay? For our bodies to change and do well, it takes time. So understand that and continue doing your little home remedies for as often as needed. Okay. Wow. I love how in deep this is. And here I was going to try and go quick, guys. And I mean, what's ironic is the elderberry is right after it. And I'm selling elderberry cuttings too. But this is big time, guys. I mean, over here, let's not go into all depth about it, but let's just do a quick touch on it, because I could spend too much time right here just on the antiviral, HPV, and HIV.
Wow.
This is something that is definitely kind of a demonetization video can occur from this. So I'm going to very much go light because there's a lot of keywords in here, guys, that act as if I'm making medical claims. So what we do know is digestion and laxative. We know that all three of these are great compounds for the stomach, and you want it. Heart health. Okay, the black walnut contains the omega-3 fatty acids. We know the walnut is good for us, not just the shell. This is one I'm going to have to read. I've got to read it, guys, because you got to hear it. So people have long been using black walnut hull to prevent and treat viral infections. Do you guys know what HIV is? Wink, wink. Black walnuts and black walnut hulls inhibit the reproduction of viruses. If you understand what that, they inhibit the reproduction. They stop it in its tracks, and they no longer get to make parasitic babies in our body anymore. It kills it. It stops it. And with viruses, that's very difficult to do, including herpes, folks. Herpes. What is on your cold sore? That's a friggin' herpes, folks. A study published in Phytotherapy Research found that juglone, which I was talking about, in black walnut hulls inhibits replication of the HIV virus. Now, why would it do that? Well, because it's a virus. It doesn't matter the virus, guys. I could throw out all kinds of scary virus names to you guys that you're going, oh my God, like, COVID's just a virus. They're all viruses. Looks like everybody better start getting some black walnut hull, huh? Are we all thinking the same thing here? Okay, without going to depth of it, while there are no therapeutic recommendations yet, it would be advisable for those exposed or infected by HIV to take the black walnut hull tincture. In addition to the hulls, the roots and the buds also contain juglone. Juglone is not soluble in water, so it's best to use an alcohol to extract as a tincture. Okay, so amazing, pretty much what we're reading here. Talks about harvesting if you have the tree, folks, how to harvest. Talks about your side effects, very important again to know. Black walnut hull. Side effects associated with black walnut hull use are not common, quite typical of herbal things. However, it's important to note that there are allergies, and someone being pregnant can avoid it, it says altogether. Of course, we all know pregnancy. Do your research, ladies. And then it's going to give you the black walnut hull tincture here for 80 proof alcohol. And I think what I'll probably be doing in the future, folks, because I know everybody's looking for good parasitic cleanses, we'll probably be selling some of this for you guys, but not at the moment. Too many things going on, but that's pretty big coverage, guys. Now, do you think that could be why black walnut hull I'm not seeing in books anymore? Where's it going, guys? Because we sure read it did a lot, huh? So I want to taste my tea.
All right.
And I want to eat another bite of egg while Ray is starving watching me eat. Hang on.
Oh.
All right, so let's try the tea real quick so you guys can see my reaction. Because regardless of how wonderful the fruit makes it, it's disgusting. And I like to have food on my stomach. All you that like those eggs well done, man, get a hold of life, folks. You want that drippy yolk just drizzling down your throat.
So good.
Pure heaven. All right. Smells good. It's nice and cool. Ray, let's cheers to a parasitic cleanse, folks. Cheers to you. And let's see what we got here. Yep. There's the juglone.
It's actually kind of tastes like a bitter coffee.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
So that super bitter that she's tasting is the juglone in the black walnut. The wormwood gives off a totally different bitter that's masked because black walnut, and then you get the tinge of the clove at the end. So is it disgusting?
Not really.
No,
It's
but
rich.
are we am I gonna fill up my water jug and slurp this while I'm jogging down the street? No, guys, we're not. So remember, keep it in context. Drink your whole cup of tea, and cheers to learning, folks. This was Tea on Tuesday.